All right.
I'm okay, you're okay.
Good afternoon. My name is Brian Rothenberg of Progress, Ohio. For those of you who don't know me, we are pleased today to have Professor John Kindt with us from the University of Illinois. Mr. Kindt is one of the nation's experts, academic experts in studies about organized casinos and gambling. And we brought him here from the University of Illinois so that he can tell you about the effects that have happened in other states. Progress Ohio, by the way, Progress Ohio's board 1 week ago voted unanimously to oppose issue 3. We did so because of our concern about the economy. It is our belief as a board that every dollar spent on casino gambling will lead to $3 spent on other social services and other costs for Ohioans that are caused by gambling. In addition, every dollar spent on gambling in Ohio takes away money from the economy, where families would otherwise be spending that money on goods and services. They would now be spending it on slot machines. So for those reasons, Progress Ohio has come out against casino gambling. After Professor Kindt, you will hear from the Reverend John Edgar and also from David Miller, Citizens for Community Values. I think you will note that we have some very diverse people in this coalition against this issue. I think it speaks to the fact that on many common ground issues, you can put aside your ideological differences for the best interests of the state of Ohio and its citizens and its economic future. With that, I'd like to have Professor Kindt.
Thank you. It's good to be here today. I did have second thoughts about coming after you beat us 30-0, but I figured I would come anyway. It's nice to see that so many people are so interested in this topic and this issue. But my question has to be, why am I even here? Back in the 1990s, we had a federal commission, the National Gambling Impact Study Commission. It was sponsored by your congressional delegation as well as our congressional delegation out of Illinois. We were one of the first states to get the casinos, and we're about to become the largest gambling state in the country, larger even than Nevada. So once the camel's nose is under the tent, it's going to keep expanding and expanding and expanding. This is all about gambling, and particularly it's all about slot machines, which are known, according to the national report, as the crack cocaine of creating new addicted gamblers. Now this called for a moratorium on the expansion of any type of gambling anywhere in the United States. And there were quite a few gambling people on this commission. And even so, you have to read it carefully, and you have to read through the terminology. But when you get through the terminology, it is a very negative report on gambling. And if you need to get through the terminology, you can contact the former executive director, Tim Kelly, who's now a professor out in California. And I'm sure he'll be glad to come in here and talk to you about the report and interpret some of the things which may be given to you misleadingly by pro-gambling interests. But it's a very negative report on gambling. Also called for the recriminalization, the rollback of slot machines where they are convenient to the public. And so here you see proposals for 4 casinos right in the middle of your major population bases. And the report indicates that around these areas, you're going to see a doubling of the number of addicted gamblers, similar to drug addiction. They're going to lose everything they have. They're going to raid their families' coffers. We find that around these casino facilities, people are spending 10% less on food, 25% less on clothing, 37% have raided their bank accounts for gambling money. So this is a large social, economic, governmental impact on your state. And I should say that I have a lot of cousins. I have an aunt here that live in Ohio. I've been here several times. I've testified before your legislature in the past on these issues. I've testified before Congress on these issues. So we know what we're talking about here. Now this was back in the 1990s. This final report came out in 1999. And we have today, the 2008 United States International Gambling Report, which says it's even worse. With the last 10 years, it's expanding everywhere. States have been ignoring, and people should ask why they're ignoring, why states are ignoring, or why legislatures are continuing to go against the National Gambling Impact Study Commission. Well, we have the 2008 United States International Gambling Report that repeats the recommendations of the federal report. We have the 2009 United States International Gambling Report. They're getting thicker and thicker because we've got more and more research. We've got 50 studies and congressional references to studies in these volumes. They are all highly negative on gambling. So the bottom line is, don't do it. Now, specifically, I was asked to address a couple of issues here. And one was what we call the ABCs of gambling. And I think this is in your press file. Some of these are pages out of the United States International Gambling Report. There may be a couple of pages out of the federal report here as well.